as usual by Mr. Jeff Frank. But first, we got to talk a little bit about Patreon. Well, off the top, if you haven't hit subscribe on this channel, go do that right now. Come on back. We'll wait. But we got some Patreon members. And for those of you that don't know, the High Society tier, I read out those names when we get new members. And we have a new member as of this morning. Mr. Curtis Mocan is now a High Society Patreon member. And then we got our Alpha members, Jeff Frank, Bruce Willis, Barbarian Arm Wrestling, Ready Go Garb, Brian Kerner, and Ready Go Solutions. So head on over to Patreon, you get exclusive content and all kinds of things that we're trying out in experimental ways to try to boost the Patreon following. But our guest this morning is none other than the gorilla, Mr. Corey West, and his arm that he showed us there. I was going to say something rude, but I couldn't bring myself to it. Good morning, Corey. How you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're doing well.
Wonderful. Jeffrey, how are you this morning?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
I can't complain. I mean, I'm sitting here on a snowy Manitoba morning and, but we're inside.
We got like 3 inches of snow here in Alberta. It snowed for the last 4 days straight.
I feel terrible for you. How's the weather down there, Corey?
We got rained on pretty hard this morning, but other than that, it's pretty good.
That's
probably
awesome.
Mid 70s right now on average.
Yeah, I feel so bad.
Yeah. Good gosh.
Is Julie Harrelson your wife or something, Corey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Julie West. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, her name on here is still Harrelson. She says Corey is so dreamy. Nice. All right. So, Corey, you got matches coming up, but I need to know a little bit about your backstory here, because here comes this guy who's 400 plus pounds and he's strong as an ox. And from my perspective, kind of comes out of nowhere and is training with Michael Todd and then starts killing guys at tournaments. So, I mean, how long you been around and what was the path?
I think October was right at 4 years. I definitely wasn't. I think I was 340 4 years ago when I started, which my weight has always been up and down. I've weighed over 500 and dropped all the way down to like 270.
What?
So, yeah.
You were over 500 pounds?
Yeah, like 18 years old. It wasn't good.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know. So I was always into the strength stuff, and I got into when I lost all the weight, I got in a motorcycle accident, ended up ripping my right shoulder out of socket. Thought I was kind of done with strength. And then, I don't know, 4 or 5 years later, I just really wanted to do something competitive. And my shoulder didn't really bother me anymore. So we had a little local group of guys. They still train together. And we just kind of started going at it, and super, super consistent. The first 2 years, I mean, I knew Michael, but, it was just because he threw tournaments, and every now and again he'd have a practice at his house we'd all go to. But as far as, training with Michael, that started about 2 years in. I come back from the 2018 Arnold's, I believe. I took like 5th or 6th, and we had trained a couple times prior to that, but I was, I felt like I was, so close. I'd made it to that second day of pulling at the Arnold's, and for no more than I was actually doing back then, I felt like I needed to step it up and try to pursue it. So we spent the last 2 years just getting it.
So, and you're not in the same town as Michael, correct? So you actually have a bit of a drive to get there.
Well, I used to live about an hour and a half from Michael. I made the drive like twice a week. It's about 3 hours round trip. And then I actually got married to Julie, and we sold my house that was there. And Julie only lives about 35 minutes from Michael. So my drive's not nearly as bad now.
Right on. So then all of a sudden, you got this guy shooting these videos. This is my perspective again. You're shooting all these videos with Michael, and you're just doing some pretty impressive lifts, and people are starting to take notice. But in the recent months, well, I mean, even backing up, I mean, you've had massive success against the likes of Don Underwood, Nick Dinna. I mean, the list could go on. But most recently, you had a pretty good result. And what was that one?
The 2020 Monster Michael Todd Pro Am International, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, it was definitely the deepest. Even considering the Arnolds I've been to, it was still the deepest class that I've ever pulled. As far as how many top guys were in the class, you had Nick Zena, BJ Fokakis, Don Underwood. I'm going to forget some good names, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But Mike Aiello.
Ernie Thomason.
Ernie actually did not pull that tournament.
Oh,
he was there, but he had another event coming up pretty soon and didn't want a chance. You know. You had Tony Tomlinson. I can see all their faces. I'm so bad with names, but it was still the deepest class that I've ever pulled, and it went in my favor that day. So it was really good.
Yeah, well, you're headed down a path of massive success, my friend, and you looked unstoppable at that tournament. It was very impressive.
Yeah, I told Michael, I think my left is actually better than my right. It's stayed healthier. For the whole 4 years, I've never had a left-handed injury, and I've had a cracked humerus in my right. I've had multiple tendon issues. Just a lot of stuff with my right that I haven't had with my left. So my left has just, never slowed down. It wasn't as good at first, but at some point along the line, I think it actually passed my right. And I think, I pulled the left-handed class first, and, I think I just fed off of that. I don't know that I could have won the right-handed class had I not done so well left-handed and, felt kind of untouchable in the moment.
Interesting. So fast forward now, we have an event coming up right away that you're competing in. Not the TAL event yet, but you got one before that, correct?
I actually have two.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, we're actually going to run down to how does Travis say it? Waxahachie, is that right? We're gonna run down to Texas this weekend and pull that single elimination open weight tournament.
Nice.
Yeah, it didn't really meet my schedule for work very good, but I've never met Travis. I've never met John Brezink. It's only like a 4-hour drive from my house, so I just kind of had to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it'll be a good chance to watch Robbie pull. Robbie will be pulling
Dimitri,
yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you have that, and you're pulling the tournament, and then you got a super match coming up a short time after that.
Yeah, I think they changed it to the Nat Fit Open, which was better known as the Fallen Heroes in Kansas City, Missouri, against Nick Zena, right-handed, and Bryce Towton, left-handed.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to that because I'll be there too with the super match. So,
really?
Yeah, I'll be there, and I can't wait. I have a match at that tournament too, so I'll get to meet you and meet everybody else, and I'm really excited about that one.
That was actually last year I went to that. First year I ever went to it. The deepest tournament I've ever been to. As far as total entrants, there were I want to say there were close to 400 entrants there last year. It was nuts.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a good tournament.
So Nick Zena, I mean, as interesting as that match is, we kind of saw that a couple of weeks ago. So there's the intangibles about the other people they're pulling, right? And you're going up. How you feeling about your match with Nick?
I feel good about it. I just hope, I've heard a lot of things said about Nick's arthritis and things. I just hope I get the best version of Nick. I don't want to take anything from anybody that I didn't earn. So.
Well, I mean, that's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is if he puts his arm on the table, I mean, you're pulling the guy that's. What can you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, I hope, I just hope for the best. Nick's a great guy. I probably talked to him for a couple of hours at that last event, and like I said, I don't want to beat anybody that's not at their best.
Right.
So.
And then the one that's probably, well, for me, is the most exciting is thinking about what potentially is going to happen on December the 5th in Boise, Idaho, not Ohio, as we heard it said before, Jeffrey. Boise, Idaho.
Jonathan Thompson, not Meridian, Ohio.
Meridian, Ohio.
Idaho.
Boise, Idaho.
Boise, Idaho.
You have not only a left-handed match against Dave Chafee, a right-handed.
Hold on a second. We got to
Okay.
back up a second here. Corey, are you pulling the tournament in Fallen Heroes? Just say yes, so I don't have to enter.
I would like to say yes, but I'm just gonna play it by ear. If I feel like, if the real Nick shows up and I get in a war, I'm not probably gonna put my right back on the table. It's not worth risking. Every time I've ever got hurt, it's been because I arm wrestled when I knew I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have something coming up right after that, I probably would no matter what. Yeah. But I'd hate to get tweaked up or actually injured and only have 4 weeks to hope and pray that it heals up in time.
Yeah.
Hang on a second here, Jeff. Explain that statement you just made. Tell me you are so I don't have to pull the tournament. What does that mean?
Just
so you're saying
listen, man. If I'm gonna pull the tournament at Fallen Heroes, but let's be realistic, I'd have to go against Corey West, Nick Zena, Don Underwood. It's gonna be a really short
no
night.
Problem.
Here's what I want to accomplish. Those boys in the South, BJ Fokakis, Corey West, they grow some pretty badass beards. I'm trying to, meet them there by December the 5th. I don't know if I'll get there or not. No, in all honesty, I'm just looking forward to being there, and I'm going to pull the tournament, and just to be able to grip up with these guys and give it a go is just going to be just fun. So I'm actually really looking forward to getting down there.
Okay, so we're back at that one, but let's jump ahead. I mean, I thought you were going to ask the question: is he going to pull the tournament at TAL? So, I mean, I'm hoping, Corey, that you don't have anything booked in the short time after the TAL event, so that no matter what happens, we could see you in the tournament against the likes of, I don't know, Todd Hutchings, Michael Todd, Robbie Topi, Corey Merritt.
I actually don't have anything going after the December 5th event, and I was, originally I was going to take a hiatus after the NapFit Open. We're in the process of building a house, and probably going to start trying to have a kid before long. So after the TAL event, I'll probably chill out. Not necessarily stop training, but I'll probably not make quite as many events for, the upcoming few months until the house is pretty far along.
All right. So, are you going to pull the tournament?
That's the plan. I mean, I don't, like you said, you don't, it's not every day you get to pull some of those guys. So, it doesn't break my heart to lose. So I'll probably pull it no matter what.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and as we keep getting forward, it's really good to see the excitement even on behalf of the venue with Big Al's. And originally they said, well, we can do the upstairs, which still holds like 350 people, as the downstairs was usually reserved for college football. And now they've come back and said, listen, we're really excited about this event. We love what you're doing. You guys can have access to the whole venue, the concert stage, everything. So it's pretty cool. It's gonna be.
So Alex, who is a regular on the show, says it's over a year he's been writing that Corey is one of the very few that can put the brakes on Cody Merritt left hand. Have you pulled Cody Merritt?
I pulled Cody at Fallen Heroes last year, and Cody beat me pretty handily. With that being said, I don't think I'm the same person. Not saying I can beat Cody. I would love to pull Cody again. Hopefully I'd have a little more to offer him this time.
Yeah, that's an exciting matchup.
All right. So, how long of a hiatus are you thinking about taking after the TAL?
It's honestly, I may not even miss any events. A lot of stuff doesn't even happen, from November to the Arnolds. So I probably just won't make the Arnolds, to be honest, if they have the Arnolds.
Yeah, the Arnolds would be a tough one because there's 50,000 people in a room together, but it's definitely a fun one. I've been attending that event sporadically since 2001.
Yeah. Yeah. Did y'all set a date on the TAL Arkansas event yet?
May 15th.
Yeah. I'll probably be good by then. Hopefully.
And who do you want to pull at that event?
I'll pull anybody. I don't care.
I just thought of a guy. That'd be.
Oh, jeez.
Ryan Espey.
Well, Ron said he wants the winner of the Dave match. I may not be that guy.
Well, Ryan told me behind the scenes that he had something to say to you.
Let's hear it.
What the hell are you talking about?
I thought you said you were going to call him out or something.
Oh, I mean, okay. Eventually. So, like I said, I want the winner of Corey and Dave. So I'm definitely going to pursue that match. Okay. Got to wait and see who wins. And then I will make my call up. It will be, I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse. You know what I mean? Right. And it's hard to build excitement for a match that's months and months away, and there's several TAL events in between. So maybe at the next TAL, I will, who knows? I mean, Michael Todd could be next left-handed, but he's got to get past Lenny first.
Is Len very fast?
Yeah, he is for his size and his age. He's still pretty quick.
Yeah, I think people, I think Michael cut a lot of flack on social media about the way he pulled Devin, but Michael's kind of got an ace in the hole that's hard to counter on go. I think that'll be really interesting. I've seen him flash and for lack of a better word, embarrass some really good pullers with his speed and commitment to drive inside hard on go.
Yeah.
You see, that's interesting for me because when he drives hard inside on go, he might run into Len style kind of is the perfect counter for that. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
There might have to be a plan B.
Do what?
There might have to be a backup plan for Michael when he goes into that match.
I mean, he's got a lot of good angles. Obviously his left is not his right, but I would still put him on a pretty high level. I mean,
yeah. I agree, Corey. Like, I don't take a whole lot of stock on what you see between Michael Todd and Devin Laird online and the videos, and everybody gets all excited about that stuff. But I mean, it's just two guys. I don't know. Devin always makes guys look better when he's practice pulling and when he's doing his online stuff. And I don't know. I mean, obviously I wasn't there, but yeah, I don't take a lot out of that match, and I'm pretty sure that Michael Todd's left is on the elite level.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
It is a very competitive match, and I think that a lot of people might downplay that match, but it's going to be one of the ones to watch. I mean, the first match they have will tell a story, but I honestly think that Lenny might get match 1, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Michael's endurance is probably, it's probably the same as his right and his left. He's just a different style puller. I don't think he fades tremendously fast by any means, left-handed either, though.
Yeah. Cool. Jeffrey, what else are we going to talk about here?
Well, let's get into these matches with Corey. Like, I mean,
Let's
he's
do
got
that.
TAL2, Boise, Idaho, December 5th. He's got a big day there. He's gonna tackle Dave Chafee on the left hand, and then Robbie Burnett on the right hand. That's 2 tall orders, and I can't wait to see it.
So, what's the prep look like for a guy like Robbie Burnett?
I think Robbie pulls a lot like Michael. He pulls. He wants to be outside and through the fingers and pronating, and I fight that twice a week at a very, very high level. So I feel like I'm prepared. I mean, I'm not going to be, I'm not going to predict me winning or anything like that, but I feel like stylistically, I train a lot for Robbie, even if it's not for Robbie.
You're very humble. You're not going to predict yourself winning?
No, I'd rather not do all that. I kind of allowed myself to get arrogant one time, and it cost me, and I felt foolish, and it just didn't set well. So just rather, stay true to who I am, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, on the flip side of that, you got Chafee left-handed. Are you doing anything different to prep for that match? Because when was the last time Dave pulled left-handed in a tournament?
Oh, I'm sure. 2016?
So it would have been the World Arm Wrestling League.
I mean, that's the last time I've seen anything. You'd probably know better than me, though.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I'm so interested in this match. It's because back then, I showed up as, one of the best versions of myself I had been in a long, long time. And Travis and I had really good matches where he had pushed me off the back of the pad to win the match. He had to foul me out. And then I went into a match with Dave Chafee, assuming that I would, sneak by Dave because I'd beat him numerous times at the left. And he got a hit on me, and we slipped out, and they called me for a slip out in the losing position, which is not a rule in the World Arm Wrestling League. But somehow, because it was the World Arm Wrestling League tournament it was the one that got canceled, and then Travis pulled it back together, somehow that referee made that call. And I tried to fight it a little bit, but they said, no, the referee's decision is final. So Dave Chafee beats me on a slip out in a losing position, no restart. And all of a sudden, rankings-wise, Dave Chafee is light years beyond me. So it didn't sit well, and I've always wanted to have a run back of that match. So based on you two guys having a left-handed match, if Dave beats you, I get the rematch. If you beat Dave, in a sense, I still get the rematch because maybe I'm going against the guy that beat that guy,
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, I have no clue how my style is going to play into effect against Dave. I pulled Jerry Catterett after the Tulsa event where I lost to Paul Passmore and he beat Todd Hutchins. We pulled on that WAL table fresh versus fresh left-handed. Again, just a practice, but my style matched up really, really good against Jerry. So I kind of let that get to me, and then thinking, I had that Cody match coming up, and I thought I stood a lot better chance than I actually did because, Jerry had beat Cody the last time they pulled maybe, or, he was ahead of him in the rankings anyways, and it did not matter. So stylistically, I just don't know what to expect.
Now, I don't know that Jerry has ever beat Cody, but here's what happened. In the last time there was a World Arm Wrestling League bracket, Cody and I were on one side of the bracket, Travis and Jerry were on the other side. So because I think they may have had a pull-off. No, they didn't have a pull-off because in the match, Cody tore his left bicep. So they would have had a pull-off for third and fourth. They didn't, and Jerry technically got third.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, I am sure that I got a very untrained version of Jerry left-handed. I would expect a different version if he had, a couple months' notice to train his left.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, Jerry is not an elite left-handed guy either. So you're now in the tank with some guys that are considered that, and even Dave, I think, is considered to be a fairly decent level at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Dave possesses some real power no matter what. So he may just be so strong that he just opens my bicep up and the hand doesn't matter. I don't know what to expect, honestly.
Yeah, the tournament's going to be lots of fun because you're going to have a whole bunch of guys that all pull the super match that are elite world level left-handed guys being thrown into the same mix. And then you throw a guy like Todd Hutchings in there.
And then when they lift the COVID restrictions, Ryan will show up and pull the tournament fresh.
It's like I said, Jeff, if I don't have to quarantine for 2 weeks either.
I just giving you a hard time, brother.
I am willing to go there and quarantine for 2 weeks.
Well, did you see the Alberta government lift what they did?
No, I didn't.
So
the Alberta government, Jeff, come on.
I know because we're pretty good out here, but no, they actually. So what they're going to do at the Calgary airport is they got a new pilot there with COVID-19 that they're going to have these immediate test kits at the airport. So your quarantine is now only going to be as long as the results until you get the results back. So 3 days, not 14.
Unless you test positive for COVID.
Well, unless you test positive, but
yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool to introduce that, and hopefully they get some more guys coming out. There's already going to be a good showing in Idaho with a lot of Alberta guys. So
yeah, it's a Canadian show going to the States. All the unknown Canadian guys are going down there to either make names for themselves or fade back into obscurity.
Yeah, it's listen, I'm just excited for this. I mean, one, just to meet some good guys like Corey West and and Robbie Topi, Cody Merritt, Dave Chafee, just to sit and be able to talk with these guys, and I'm just really excited just to go down there and meet the guys, and this event's just turned into it's exploding every day. Lots of guys coming out. Todd Hutchings is coming now. Sarah Bachman sounds like she's going to come, and it's just going to be big.
So is Sarah planning on pulling the men's class?
I don't know. We're still kind of negotiating with Sarah. She wanted to pull a super match, so I like to do something for my super to get them out there, whether it's cover their flight or whatever. But the budget's getting a little tight on this event. There's spent a lot of money here, so just kind of see where we're at, and hopefully we can make a deal to bring her out too. So.
Well, you can't just drop a bomb like that. You must have a potential matchup for her.
I do. Why do we do this? It's not for sure yet.
It's not me. It does it. It's you throw these little teasers out there, and I call you on it, and you end up telling the world.
Well, okay. Well, whatever. So,
And now you're going to do it again.
yeah. So yes, Robin Chandler and Sarah Bachman were kind of talking amongst themselves, and they agreed that they wanted a super match together. So be looking at putting that one possibly together if all the dots align. And
Is that right or left?
right-handed. So.
Okay.
But not for sure yet. We're still working on it. It's logistically it's getting a little tight, but we'll see what we can do.
Feel bad for that men's left-handed class.
Right?
She's tough.
Yeah. Have you practice pulled with her?
No, but I seen that last Florida
Right?
video where she just ran through everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm kind of excited about it. I really wanted to get a ladies match. I've been having a hard time finding a super match with the women's classes, so I really do want this one to go, just to have a presence there of women and hopefully gets a lot of female pullers out there. So yeah, I do want it to happen, and hopefully it all comes to fruition there. So
okay. So what else are we covering on this one? You want to go through the rest of the matches? Corey, you feel comfortable making predictions on any of these other matches?
absolutely, he does.
Oh yeah.
Corey is relatively strong. Monster and Mrs. Monster say.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what surprised me the most about these two matches that I've got. And I feel like you're probably going to be on the same page. And this is not me talking trash about either of the guys, but I have gotten the weirdest, like, people think I'm going to kill Dave left-handed and Robbie's going to kill me right-handed. And that is the exact opposite of what I would have expected people to say.
No, I don't think that I'm on the same page with you there at all. I think that I think the right-handed match is probably more. Okay, I apologize to Dave in advance. I think the right arm match is going to be more competitive. I think the left arm match, Chafee hasn't pulled in a couple of years, as far as I know, with the left arm. I don't think I don't think it's going to be a close match. I just don't. I hope he proves me wrong.
I wouldn't. Anybody that can come in the sport and do the things he's done in like 6 or 7 years.
I mean he's awesome,
yeah.
but he's not a left-handed puller primarily. Now, you and I are anomalies. We have had more success with our left arms, even though. Are you a dominant right-handed guy?
I do a lot of things left-handed. I don't write left-handed, but like I shoot a basketball left-handed. I kick left-footed. Just weird. Kind of ambidextrous, but not, because I can't kick right-footed.
All right, Monster Mrs. Monster says, I'll be shocked if the right hand is even competitive. I don't do anything left-handed. I arm wrestle. That's it. Yeah.
So
anyway, we were going to go through.
Yes, let's start.
Let's talk Ali and Bishop. Ali Hamadaya and Justin Bishop.
So I'm going to go at practice last night.
This is tell.
Yeah, at practice last night, when I was sitting with Matt Mask afterwards, and we were talking a little bit about the match, and and Matt looked at me and says, Jeff, like, I cannot move Ali's left hand. I can't, like, if he gets this, he says, Jeff, I can't move his left hand. He is insane strong. And that's just us talking off the record, after everybody left. Now,
sounds like it's on the record.
Or on, well, just between me and him.
And the rest of the world now.
Yeah. So, the one thing with Ali that he needs to get that quick, because I think his kryptonite is if he loses that hand, I think it's gonna be a bad day. He's got to get in his wheelhouse quick, and that's one thing that Justin Bishop's extremely good at is his quickness and his versatility in pulling. So either way, I really think this match is going to be off the charts exciting.
Well, there was a comment that Ali made on the show, and he said that he wanted to pull Vrez at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Bishop responded, said he better beat me 3-0 convincingly if he wants to even be in the match with Vrez.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but Ali is definitely an underdog going in. But I mean, all the stories I hear is that he's super strong, and you know, I think it's going to be a lot closer of him. Maybe it's not going to be close. Maybe one guy just blows the other one out of the water, and it might not be the one we expect.
We'll find out. And yeah, you're right. It's bringing Vrez into this right now, like Vrez is that guy's just on a different level altogether, and I really think this is going to tell a lot where Ali is at and where he compares to some of these elite guys. It's why I love doing these matches. It's just going to say either that gap is still huge, or it's a more level playing field, or there's guys out there that just not known that are extremely good. We'll see.
Yeah, Corey, what do you think of that match?
I don't know a lot about the Ali guy. It was super impressive to watch him put the brakes on Cody. I mean, that's really the only thing that I've seen that on the guy. I've met Justin and think a lot of Justin.
Great
obviously
guy.
I've always seen him pull right-handed. But I think he's tough. I don't think that he's gonna have any trouble with Ali from what I've seen. I've seen Cody get caught up in some weird matches with guys that didn't have any business having a match with Cody before. So to put a lot of stock in that is hard for me.
Yeah. I hear you.
I think I've seen, and this is nothing against Tony Tomlinson. I pulled Tony left-handed at the last tournament. I can't remember if Cody lost to Tony or just got in kind of a rough match with Tony, but that made no sense to me at all because I've pulled them both. So that kind of makes me wonder what version of Cody he got. So I just kind of have to take that off the table, and I think
it's a good point, Corey, and it's hard to measure those things. I guess as far as the league goes, the latest we can see is his dominant win left-handed over BLM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And even though it was right-handed, like watching Justin pull RBJ last year.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
I mean, you see those guys stand beside each other, and you see RBJ's hand and the size of his arm. And every tool he's got, you look at Justin and just can't imagine that there's any way he could be in that match. And he was that close. So it's hard to count somebody like that out.
Yeah.
Well, then we talked a little bit about Michael and Len already, but we didn't really touch too much on Robbie and Cody. Who's your winner?
I've never pulled Robbie, so I don't know a lot about Robbie. I did see him get beat by Varese, which was crazy, even though he did have a super match. Still wild. I like Cody in that match, obviously, because I've pulled him. But I think it could go either way.
Me too. I think I would probably lean towards Cody, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went either way.
Yeah, Cody's really strong in a lot of areas. I mean, he beat me 3-0, and I tried him a different direction every time. And he's solid. He's very well rounded when he's all there.
Yeah. Jeff, you gonna make a prediction on that one?
Nope. Well, no, I think it's going to be a good match, and I mean, Cody's a world champion. Robbie's a bad dude. He's a freak. He's extremely strong. He's told me he's coming into this match near 300 pounds. It's I don't know. I'm just excited to be there and watch it.
A 300-pound Robbie Topi is a scary individual.
Yes.
Yep. And then we have what else? What matches are we missing here?
The Roman Gromoff, Martin Langlois.
Yeah. Another good match. I don't anticipate that Corey's going to know a whole lot about Martin.
No.
Canadian guy from, yeah.
But I don't know either of those guys.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Moving on.
No, nothing against anybody. Michael makes fun of me all the time whenever he says names, but I don't know who they are. He's like, I forget how new you are.
There's so many guys. There's so many guys to keep track of. After this match is over, we'll definitely know who they are.
Yeah.
We all will. Yeah. What else we got, Jeff? What other matches am I missing here? Because there is
well, we talked about Corey West, both his matches, and which one are we missing? Talked about Michael. I think we've hit them all.
We may have hit them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Corey, what do you do for a living? Because you worked all night long, and then now you're staying up to talk to us.
So I work at a paper mill. I run a high-pressure boiler. So just an operator. We work shift work, though. Place never closes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah. Been there since I was 19, so going on a little bit.
Nice.
And I want to ask the comments section here. If you guys have any questions, please throw them out to us. We definitely will be able to get these questions in if you get them in the next 2 minutes. A lot of guys are writing some stuff, but nobody's asking any questions except for the question to you, Jeff.
Uh-oh.
I was thinking, is TAL2 date exactly on the Zloty date?
What's that?
Alex says that the date for Zloty is usually December 2nd to 5th.
I believe all Zloty and PAL is canceled.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Zloty relies heavily on international travel.
Yeah.
And I don't think that those countries are even open for international travel. So
yeah, it was it was kind of how the Dave Chafee match came to be. Is he had asked I don't know who he's talking to, whether it's Krill or Igor or what, but yeah, like his match with Levon there was canceled. So I would imagine that match being a December match, Zloty being in December, that both events would be canceled.
Right. Yeah. So, Corey, I'm going to ask you the same question I ask everybody. The dream match. If you could have anybody with 6 months to prepare, $50,000 on the line. Well, actually, that's not a fair question because you might take somebody easy just for the 50 G's. But who's the dream? Let's put it this way. Who's the dream match? 6 months to prepare. And if you... Oh, never mind. That doesn't work either. Who do you want to pull?
I'm trying to think. I mean, there's a bunch of people I'd love to pull left-handed.
Who's the top 5?
You could probably go straight to that North American rankings and just pick the top 5. That would be them.
Nice.
I'd love to pull Devin. Like and that's not even. I would just love while he's doing this tour. I would just love to feel what his left feels like because I've never gripped up with the guy. I'd love to pull you. I'd love to pull Cody again. I'd love to pull a trained up Jerry, left-handed. I would like to pull Jerry right-handed just to see how the styles matched up, but I'm sure it would not go in my favor right now. As far as that elite level right-handed, like top 3 or 4 guys, I think there's still a gap. So just got to keep working at it.
Well, I appreciate all of that, and I think that we're going to be seeing big things out of you. Has the World Arm Wrestling League expressed any interest in bringing you in for some stuff?
I think Michael had spoke with Jamie about a potential match this year. I don't remember a name, but this year was so crazy. I pulled that prelim match with Paul Passmore last year and lost. So
Would you have a comment saying that 2020 has been the worst year for arm wrestling ever? And there was some shining moments in 2020, but for the overall, I can't disagree with that. Hopefully, we get past all of
I
this.
would probably, if I had to pick somebody right-handed, it would probably be Marcio.
Nice.
I mean, I'm not saying that because I think I can beat Marcio by any means. I just, he's going to want to be inside, and that's where.
Well, that's interesting because actually, I just got a text yesterday. Somebody had given me Marcio's personal cell phone number and was told to reach out to him about some possible TAL matchups. So,
Yeah.
Well, there you go, Jeff.
Yeah.
There you go.
Marcio, I have actually pulled Marcio at the 2018, the Arnold's that he won in 2018. He killed him. He killed him. But he killed everybody at that Arnold's in my defense.
Well, that's exciting. Well, guys, we've been going for 45, so it's usually the time we wrap it up. Any closing thoughts from either one of you gentlemen?
yeah, no, I'm just excited. There's still messages coming in. It sounds like Daniel Worley will be coming up from Florida. I'd love to see him in his left hand. Like I know he's a bad dude left-handed, and there may be a possibility of a match there, kind of a prelim match between him and Mark Harrison. So I think that's interesting.
Have you got anything? Have you talked to the Merlot kid any? Everybody keeps talking about him. Jason Merlot.
No, I haven't. No.
They say he's really, really good for, what is it, under 200, Espey? He's like 198, isn't he?
Yeah. No, I hear he's really good.
Yeah, super good kid. I met him at one of the WAL events. He pulled a prelim. Super good dude.
Nice. Yep. And then I bet there's about a 70% chance, I guess, Matt Mask will be coming down to Idaho to pull the tournament too. So.
Well, that's a bit of a bombshell to drop on everybody. I think that's nobody expected that. To be continued on that discussion, but I mean that is interesting. And 70% Matt coming pulling fresh, Todd Hutchings in there, and then all the guys that pull super matches. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I seen where Wayne Withers was wanting a match. You might.
Wayne,
You might give your boy Matt a chance to get him back.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. One is I don't want to bother WAL again on any of their guys. So not at this one anyways. Two, I'd like to see Wayne come, Matt come, and these guys just participate fresh in an open tournament. I think that'd be pretty cool. And just like Todd Hutchings is doing. No super match, just come in and have a killer lineup of elite pullers in the tournament itself. I think this event is going to be extremely deep. It's going to be big. It's going to be really interesting to see who comes out on some of these classes.
Right on.
For sure.
Well, Corey, we appreciate you joining us this morning. We know you stayed up. Normally you'd be sleeping right now. We appreciate you staying tired and staying up to chat with us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate y'all having me.
All right. Gentlemen, have a good day. Corey, good night.
See you in Kansas City, Corey.